Hey, it's FitGearHunter here with an in-depth optical heart rate analysis video. So this is the Huawei GT2, and one of the most unique things about this watch is it's full AMOLED, lasting battery life, and includes first beat analytics for workout intensity, recovery time estimations, and training load over time. So it is power-packed with a lot of features that we have not found or seen on an AMOLED watch, and obviously this YouTube channel and the website associated with it, FitGearHunter.com, is all dedicated to tracking and testing devices for the purpose of CrossFit training or high-intensity interval training. So this has got everything that we would want. And so the biggest question is, how does the optical heart rate sensor hold up? Because one of the downsides, one of the single most upsetting things about the Huawei GT2 is that it will not link to a Bluetooth chest strap. They do not allow you to connect to a chest strap, so you are solely reliant on the optical heart rate built into the watch. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at it over a series of workouts. Just did it track the workout flow in general, and then what were the actual results or numbers? What's the percentages for how it kept up with average heart rate, how it kept up for the peak zone 5 intensity heart rate, how it kept up with zone 4 and 5, as well as how did it keep up, because this has the same training effect analysis as the Garmin Forerunner series, so we can compare it head to head with the chest strap with the Garmin Forerunner series using first beat analytics and the training effect of the workout versus what the watch came as a result because of the optical heart rate sensor. So let's dive into the details and come back together for a summary.
Okay, so looking at the heart rate diode on the Huawei GT2, so you get two flashing lights there, and then the crisscross opposite it is the pulse ox tracking, so it's these two here, and they just fire like normal. There you go. Okay, so what do we see? I'm going to track it. I tracked it against a polar chest strap, so some of the stats are going to look a little different, and then I converted to Garmin because Garmin's using first beat, which uses the same training effect evaluation approach. So looking at a multiple of workouts, we're going to try to bounce through these. I hand wrote 118 was the average beats per minute, and then you can see on the bottom in the red zone 8 minutes and 42 seconds, and then in the yellow zone 4 minutes 48 seconds. And you can see that the Huawei is 110 average, but barely caught any of the peaks. So 0 extreme, no anaerobic. So very different there, although not crazy far off on the average. So here, average heart rate, 123 beats per minute. And then at the bottom, just a half a minute in the top 5 peak zone, and then 10 or almost 11 minutes in the yellow. Here, it caught only 107 average beats per minute, but nothing in the peak 5, nothing in the zone 4. 119 beats per minute. Now you can start to see the training effect. And what I would say is also about these, anytime you see this and there's no page for training effect, then it literally wasn't intense enough to have a training effect. So here, 119 beats per minute average, training effect of 3.2 on the aerobic side, 4 minutes in the red zone, 9 minutes in the orange zone. So 140 beats per minute average. So again, that's versus 119. So that's over peak. And the training effect was 2.6 versus the 3.2. So fell short there. But you look here, it picked up 8 minutes in the red zone and then 26 minutes in the orange zone. And that compares to 4 and 9. So for some reason, it just totally overshot this workout. Then you got 136 in the next workout. This was a very intense workout, 136-minute average, full 5.0 training effect, and then 27 minutes in the red zone. Here, it only caught 133 beats per minute average, and it only gave me a training effect of 2.3. And you can see why, because it didn't pick up any of that peak 5 zone, and it put it mostly in the anaerobic 24 minutes in the orange zone. Here, another difficult workout, 136 beat per minute average, 4.4 training effect, and 16 and a half minutes in the red zone, 18 minutes in the orange zone. It only caught 100 beats per minute average. It gave me a training effect of 1.1. Again, that's versus 4.4 on a true calculation. You can see why. It caught 0 minutes in the red zone, 0 minutes in the orange zone. Next up, we can see the average 104. So this was a lot more lifting with rest in between with an 8-minute AMRAP on the tail. So 104 beat per minute average, training effect 2.9, and then 4.5 in the red, 4.5 in the orange.
Here, it did not even pick up training effect, so there's no chart for that. So it just, obviously it caught 0 minutes in the red, 0 minutes in the orange versus, 4.5 and 4.5. So a total failure there. So now let's look at how the heart rate tracks versus a chest strap, just to see the flow, if it's picking up the lifting portion versus the Metcon at the end. So workout 1, super generic, just, all over the place and lower. Workout 2, lifting, and then Metcon at the end, super generic, not even tracking it. Again, lifting, and then some, spaced rounds on the end. Nothing. I don't know even where it got some of these stats for, because it just not following it at all. Here was that intense workout that had a 5.0 training effect, some minor lifting on the beginning, and then intense, 30-minute Metcon on the end. Super generic, didn't follow the flow at all. Again, another workout, lifting with more intensity on the backside. Super generic, I don't even know where it's getting some of this information. Again, this is that a lot of lifting with rest in between with the 8-minute AMRAP on the tail. Nothing at all. So some of the stats are just generally off, and the flow of the workout is not being tracked. It's different if you have an optical heart rate sensor that's sort of picking up the flow of the workout, but it's not picking up the peak level, but this didn't track anything accurately. Look at some of the percentages. It is capturing 91% of the average heart rate. The cardio load itself, 25%, in general. Zone 5, it's just capturing negligible amounts, and then zone 4 and 5, the 2 peak heart rate zones, only capturing 52%. So if you calculate that out, the final score is 44% accuracy. But if you see the flow of the workout, when you look at the overall heart rate graph, it's just way off the mark. So I would say it's even worse than the final score of 44% accuracy. So let's come back together for a finale. So what do we see? Obviously, it is super tragic, because this is the first, this has everything that you could possibly want. Brilliant, bright screen. I'm getting 5 days of battery life with the always-on display set at the mid-level, and first speed analytics for workout, but the optical heart rate is only picking up about 40%. Obviously, it's from the analysis 44.9%, so it is missing 55%. And if you look at the flow of the heart rate tracking versus the workout off of a chest strap, you're seeing that it's missing some bits of the flow, and so it's really just not picking up what you would need it to pick up to really accurately assess the workout or the intensity or the training load. So it is missing all of the primary benefits that we would want that are actually built into the watch, but not if we're reliant on the optical heart rate sensor. So stay tuned for more. We're going to have a review of the TicWatch Pro 3, a review of the TicWatch Pro 3 optical heart rate sensor analysis, and an upcoming video of a multiple of smartwatches head-to-head across a number of feature sets to see which is the best smartwatch, as well as which is the best smartwatch bang for the buck, value for cost. So FitGearHunter.com. Thanks so much.